Yeah, I want to go through some of the simplest methods specifically for Hep C. I'm not going to get into anything complex at all. And I know a lot of people heard of the Robert Beck PhD protocol, the 4-part protocol. One was using, and I'm not even getting into that, it's going to be a little bit different. Very simple, very cheap. I mean, beyond cheap. But sometimes, the Beck protocol, the one that developed that microelectrical current that was patented back in 1992 and 93, and the research was done in the Albert Einstein College of Medicine, New York City, by Doctors Kag, Kiley, and Lyman. Sometimes it doesn't work. It works. It seems to work a lot, and then it works in a petri dish. In the patent, it works in a petri dish, and it doesn't kill viruses. I want to kind of get into a little preface here first. It doesn't actually kill the viruses. What the patent says is it causes the viruses, bacteria, and fungi not to be able to infect new healthy cells, yet at the same time keeps the bodily fluid and the blood cells intact. It doesn't harm the bodily fluids and blood. But it causes pathogens not to be able to infect new healthy cells. That's how that works. Now, I've been reading a lot of feedback from various people. I'm not going to give any kind of references or anything on this exactly because let me put it this way, the medical community, or not the medical community, let's put it this way, the medical money side of things, it's basically a return on investment. Quite obvious, simple 101, very common sense. They're not going to invest millions of dollars in research, in studies, in double-blind studies to prove that a plant works, that anybody can grow. It's got to be something that they have and only they have. That's like investing and putting all your money into a building on somebody else's land for free. That's like doing public works projects or something and making if you're a construction guy, making a bunch of parks out there for nothing for everybody that you don't get a dime off of. They're not going to do that. So that's why it doesn't happen. It's not that these things are wrong and that they don't work. It's just there's no incentive for them to do that. But on the other side, it takes away their business. But let me put it this way: I want to get a little bit into on this Beck protocol because I've heard certain things where some people said it works and some people said it didn't work on Hep C. Now, I've also was told by, I don't have Hep C or anything, but I'm just saying is, a doctor told me that 1/3 of the people, the doctor I met in person, 1/3 of the people basically get rid of it on their own through their body's natural defenses. I don't know. I mean, I guess, healthy living, there's a lot to be said for that too, correct? But I'm going to get it. The Beck protocol, which is the ozonated water, the colloidal silver, the magnetic pulse, and the microelectricity, the one that was actually patented in the Albert Einstein College of Medicine, New York City, do not always work on Hep C from what I've understood. It seems like some people swear by it, but, it's cheap. Now I'm going to get into something else where people applied the Beck protocol and they said this other electrical thing worked better, and it's really cheap. But first, I want to get into 2 herbs. Actually, they're not really herbs. Dandelion root. This is a very powerful liver medicine. It's been known in the ancient world, the Greek world, the Indians in India, over by Asia, China, and also the American Indians. This is a very powerful thing for the liver. This is one I would recommend. It's a strong. It's actually the dandelion root from the plant, the dandelion, the weed, the root, not the wine, not the leaves. I went over this before, but specifically for the liver, this does a lot of stuff. If you have Hep C, this is not a bad thing to take. I don't think any doctor would tell me, I'm not saying this in place of the medicines, but this wouldn't be a bad one to take. Now, another one, I don't have a bottle of this other one, but it's called milk thistle. That's been very popular in European poison control centers. Actually, they'll administer that. The established medicine in Europe will administer that. They've actually given it to people who are even experimenting, I think is in Norway, with soldiers who had a lot of chronic alcoholism and liver damage. And they gave them lots of milk thistle, and it helped their liver greatly. That is another one that would be good to take if you have Hep C. Now, here's the one I'm going to tell you that's probably very different. And, I don't know. You can look at me like it's bullshit or what. It's stuff I heard of. I didn't use this specifically for Hep C because I've never had Hep C. But you know, I don't think what I've been told and from what I got feedback on blogs, and also looking back at the turn of the century medicine, I don't think a lot of that stuff was quackery. You know, a lot of people were being sold electrical devices and they're calling it like snake oil today. I don't think a lot of that stuff was snake oil. And I'm not going to... let me just put it this way. You can experiment with this if you want to. Because I don't want to say it's a cure. I don't want to say it's a treatment. But some people have been swearing by this. And what you do is you take... to the average person, it sounds a little crazy, but it's like the Beck protocol. But you're using an ordinary 6-volt lantern battery. You see I have a couple wires to it. And you see it has a readout, 6.2 volts, right? That's what it's saying. That's what it is. It's an ordinary 6-volt lantern battery. What you're going to do, which is definitely not lethal or anything, what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 leads like this, and actually I made them extended, and you're going to take the leads on the other side, and you see how these pads are? There's like a little opening. You got a double cloth in there. Actually, it's quadruple. It's double and then double. And there's a little opening in there. And you see the clip is clipped on the outside. This side will go to the skin. And what you do is you submerge this pad. You know, you don't need to submerge the whole alligator clip. You put it in tap water or saline, not distilled water. Tap water or saline, lightly saline solution. Tap water's fine. Something that'll the water conducts a little bit of electricity. And what you'll do is you put this pad over your liver, which is below your right rib cage, right? And you put one pad on one side of the body and one on the back. And how you hold that, and you'll electrify it with this will be connected to the battery, 6 volts. And the way you'll hold those pads on is you use like a weight belt. And it's like a weightlifter belt, or you can use a back brace. You know, it has like a clip. So in other words, here's the belt, and then you have the pad inside like this, right? So it's going around the body, right? And you have this, this part, the metal part, not touching the skin. And what you'll do is every 5 minutes, you reverse the electrodes on the battery. So you're electrifying right through the liver. Very low voltage, 6 volts. Actually, what you're putting through the body is not even 6 volts. So if you use a meter, it might be like 4.5 or something like that. It's very low voltage. But I don't even know if I want to put this out here too much, but I don't know. There's going to be some medical person who can look at me like, you freaking whatever. But you want to try it, go ahead. I've seen feedback on it, and I'm not talking about anybody selling anything, but people have just been sharing information as to what they did. And some people have claimed that when they used the Beck protocol, it didn't work that good for the hepatitis B. Some people say it worked great. Some people say it didn't work great. Then the ones that said it didn't work great, they used this lantern battery trick, this 6-volt lantern battery trick. And they said the viruses came down. How much Hep C they had came down. So if you want to try it, try it. Can it hurt you? I don't see how. I mean, if you have a pacemaker or some shit, you don't want to be doing something like this, exactly. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's going to affect that or not, but, if you're normally healthy and you got no problems with anything, just having a few volts through your body for a little while, like in other words, a lot of people would do this between 30 minutes and 90 minutes or 30 minutes to 2 hours, and it would be they would electrify through the pads, one side on the liver, one side on the back, through the torso, and you're using, like, these are immersed in water first, so they conduct electricity, then you're reversing these polarity on this battery every 5 minutes. And You want to try it? If you think it's snake oil, don't try it. But am I selling you anything? No. Batteries are like, I don't know, what are they, $3.95 or some garbage like that. I mean, you can make, these electrical leads are cheap. I've actually extended it with some very heavy gauge wire. I used like heat shrink on it and stuff, so it's long enough to go from, you can use this around the body very easily. Is it harmful? No, really. So, if you want to experiment with this, but I just don't, it's the information's out there, and it's not. I am very cautious. Let me put it this way. I'm trying to give you a very straight scoop. I don't operate an alternative medicine place. I don't sell any devices. I don't sell any herbs. I don't sell any services. I don't really give a shit about, I'm just telling you this like straight as a straight answer, And if you want to try it, go ahead and try it, And when I research alternative medicine, man, I swear to God, I look at it with the bullshit tech detector on all the way. I suspect the crap out of everything. So I'm not trying to give you a theory of wrong here. Let me put it this way: if I had Hep C, I'd be doing that. That's what I would be doing. That would be my personal choice, from what I've learned. Okay, so I'm just passing on my opinion here. So if you want to try it, try it. I think I've heard too many good things though. And not from anybody selling anything. It was like sites that share information and stuff like that. Sometimes the Beck protocol worked. There was a guy in, I think it was in 911. He was working with the bodies, and there was a lot of people that contracted Hep C from working with dead people that were killed in 911. And it's one Chinese, I don't know if he's Chinese, Chinese American. He actually did the Beck protocol very, very religiously, and he got rid of his Hep C, he says. But some people I've read, the Beck it doesn't seem to always work. It's not like it guaranteed always works. But I heard about this DC voltage thing. This thing really does work pretty good. I don't know. If you want to say no, I mean, fine. I'm not really trying to. I'm not a battery salesman or nothing either. But that's all you do. That's all you do. You buy a battery for $3.95. You put the electrical leads on it, and you reverse these leads every 5 minutes. It has something to do with what it does to the blood. You want to reverse them. You want to reverse positive and negative. So, if you want to try that out, give it a shot. You want to work with your doctor on this if you think it's, I don't see how your doctor's going to say it's harmful. And you sure as heck ain't going to be out of a lot of money, A couple of these are like, these electrical leads are hardly nothing. It's just some denim cloth material and a $3.95 battery. So, and the two herbs I would recommend is dandelion root and milk thistle. Very good for the liver. So, give that a try, because if you have a problem with Hep C, and you got no money, and say you have no insurance and you have no money, and you're really screwed up, give this a try. If your back's to the wall and you got no options, this is the cheapest option you can do. But I sincerely have been reading things for many years about feedback on people that used alternative medicine, and I don't know, this thing seems to work too damn good from what I've heard. I wish I could test. I mean, I'm not a scientist. I don't run tests on people. I don't do any of that stuff. This is what I would do if I had the problem. I would do this method. So, not trying to steer anybody wrong or sell anybody anything or any of that type of stuff.